Hello there, YouTube. It's your boy B3, back with another kicking graphic novel review. Today we have something else from DC's Black Label. You remember Black Label was supposed to originally be adult-oriented books, but then after the Batman dick pic debacle, it kind of just became an Elseworlds thing. And today we are looking at Rorschach from 2020. It's a Tom King book, and Tom King is very hit or miss for me. There are a lot of Tom King stories that I like, and there are a lot of Tom King stories that I don't like. Let's find out which one this is, shall we? Let's read the back of the book. Who is the man behind the mask? It's been 35 years since Ozymandias dropped a giant interdimensional squid on New York City, killing thousands and destroying the public's trust in heroes once and for all. And since that time, one figure in a fedora, mask, and trench coat has become a decisive cultural icon. So what does it mean when Rorschach reappears as an assassin trying to kill a candidate running against President Robert Redford? Who is under the mask? And why are they acting this way? It's up to one detective to uncover the true identity of this would-be killer, and it will take him into a web of conspiracies involving alien invasions, disgraced do-gooders, mystic visions, and yes, comic books that will change him forever. Writer Tom King joins forces with artist Jorge Fornes for an unforgettable miniseries, collected here in its entirety, that explores the mythic qualities of one of the most compelling characters from the best-selling graphic novel of all time, Watchmen. Also, it's bad. I'm sorry, okay? It's bad. So I didn't read the back of the book or anything before this. I didn't know anything going into it except that it was a Rorschach book. My dumbass was hoping it would be the Rorschach from the end of Doomsday Clock. You can call me a hack. You can call me an idiot. But I unironically love Doomsday Clock. I think it's really good. Sue me, okay? Sue me. I'll review it soon. Sue me. This Rorschach book does not follow that new Rorschach. It seems there's like multiple Watchmen timelines, because there's the main Watchmen continuity, which goes into Doomsday Clock, which I think includes before Watchmen, and then there's the Watchmen TV show, which is a different timeline that happens after the graphic novel. At least I assume it happens after the graphic novel and not after the movie. I haven't watched the Watchmen show. But I have read the graphic novel, and I have reviewed it and talked about it from a certain lens of adaptability. But, what was I saying? But, I'm not sure if Before Watchmen is included in that timeline. This one, I guess it could happen in either. It clearly happens before Doomsday Clock, but after Watchmen. So I guess this could happen in either timeline. Once again, I haven't watched the Watchmen show on HBO. I don't super care to. I'm kind of sick of shows. But there is this Rorschach and this kind of gunslinger gal that attempts to kill a presidential candidate. It's really crazy, but throughout this book, many people dress up as Rorschach. And there's like a conspiracy, but it is. And a lot of it is about indoctrination. And there's this comic book called The Citizen, and we get to read several pages of The Citizen in this, much like how in Alan Moore's Watchmen, you would read comics within the comic. And I gotta say, the actual Citizen comics, I loved those more than the actual Rorschach stuff. I would read The Citizen. He's basically just the Question, which is basically what Rorschach is, except Rorschach is like a conservative black and white Question. Anyway, this detective is going around and he's finding out that this woman kind of indoctrinated all these guys. Like, she believed that Dr. Manhattan took the consciousnesses of all the Watchmen, and they find bodies of people that can, I guess, of people that are like them, and then they help those people fight against more aliens that are coming. But I mean, they clearly don't know that more aliens are coming because there was only one alien that Ozymandias constructed. Uh-oh. And then, she's doing all this stuff, killing people because she thinks that anyone who doesn't really believe all the stuff that she believes, people that work against her specific ideals, they must be aliens. They must be mind controlled by these aliens. And this book feels like it's trying to say something about conspiracy theorists and how easy it is to become indoctrinated by like propaganda and etc. But while it's clear that it's trying to say something about that, what exactly is it trying to say? I mean, this book is dialogue heavy. Really, 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 really dialogue heavy. Oh my God. It's kind of a lot. Even for Tom King, it's a lot. But me, I'm here like, there are so many words on each page. And a lot of it is just not saying anything. So much of it isn't explaining anything to me. It's trying to be subtle, but also not subtle, and it wants you to... Like, I put all the pieces of the mystery together. I understand the character's motivations and everything at the end. What I don't understand is Tom King's motivation. DC's motivation is Rorschach popular, Rorschach make us money. But what is Tom King trying to say? Because he's using a lot of words. And yeah, some of them actually push the story forward. But what does he want us to get out of the ones that don't? That's what I'm asking myself here. Also, I don't think Tom King has ever spoken to another human being in his life, because he's told some really good stories. I really love Batman I Am Gotham. A lot of people don't, but I actually really like it. Mr. Miracle is supposed to be a classic. I haven't read it yet, but I'm very excited to. Etc., etc. He's done some good work with like Superman, and I hear his Wonder Woman is pretty good too, even though Wonder Woman should be written by a woman. But it's so... I don't know, it just feels like this book is something he was slapped on. Like DC walked up to him and was like, "You're writing Rorschach." And he was like, "Oh, okay." Because it's so long, but it doesn't need to be. There's so much happening, but it doesn't need to. Because, once again, these are conspiracy theorists that are killing people because they think they've been brainwashed by aliens, even though we as the audience know damn well that that's not true, and the detective doesn't think that's true either. But then there's all this extra convoluted stuff. Like, the assassins actually sort of kinda wanted to be killed, but not really. But if they were, they had a backup plan. But there's also the detectives hallucinating, kind of. And so the conspiracy theorists who want to kill someone, specifically because they think he's being mind controlled by aliens, eventually, when this guy is looking at their case, he decides to kill the person that they were going to kill. He kills that very presidential candidate. So, was that the right thing to do? And Rorschach was very black and white about things. Is that the black and white thing to do? This book, its morals are muddy. I don't understand what Tom King wanted us to feel by the end of it. Because by the end of this book, I just feel confused. Also, they do this weird hit job on Frank Miller. Like, Frank Miller is in the book, and when the conspiracy theorist assassins meet him, they're verbally sucking his dick, talking about what huge fans of his writing they are. But then Frank Miller also becomes a crazy conspiracy theorist in this book, and Batman is substituted with this pirate, and it is the pirate from the comic within a comic in Watchmen, who is apparently blown up into a huge pop culture franchise in this timeline, which felt odd to me. I don't know. There was a lot of neat paneling, I guess. Nothing crazy, but good. I liked the paneling. Some cool cover arts. But the book is just a long, boring, confusing mess. And not confusing in the way you want a mystery to be. Because a mystery, you're not supposed to know what's going on till the end. You're supposed to be confused until the end. That's what keeps you reading. But this is so boring that you don't even care. you don't care to even have the mystery solved. I honestly don't think I would have finished this if I didn't plan on reviewing it. If I was reading the single issues, I definitely wouldn't have finished it. I would have reviewed what issues I had and went on my merry way. But since I bought the trade collection, I was like, shit, I paid for the whole thing. I might as well read the whole thing. I don't like it. And I've never heard anyone speak about this book. Ever. Once. Which is weird, right? I hear people talk about Watchmen all the time, of course. I've heard people talk about Before Watchmen, the Watchmen show, the Watchmen movie, the Doomsday Clock. I've heard people talk about all those at length, and I'm sure people will do that for the animated Watchmen movie. At the time of recording this, it's not out yet, but it might be by the time this goes live. But I've never heard anyone say a word about this. I'm in a lot of DC Comics subreddits and stuff, and I've never seen this book come up, but Watchmen comes up all the time. I guess a lot of people just didn't read it. Maybe a lot of people that didn't like Doomsday Clock assumed it would be the Doomsday Clock Rorschach, like I did, except it made them not want to read it, which made me want to read it. If I would have known it wasn't the Doomsday Clock Rorschach going into it, I probably wouldn't even have gotten it. I've been trying not to read the back of books recently, because they seem to just be full of spoilers now. What was it? Inferno Girl Red, I reviewed a little while ago. The big reveal at the end is right on the back of the cover. And there was another book I reviewed recently, and it had a big reveal in it that was also on the back of one of the covers. What book was that I reviewed where it was on the back of the cover? I think it was another DC comic. Green Lantern. It was volume 2 of season 1 of Grant Morrison's Green Lantern. That's what it was. Anyhow, yeah, the backs of the books are full of spoilers now, and I don't want those spoilers, so I haven't been reading them. Like, when I read that back of the book to you at the beginning of this review, that was the first time I've ever read it. No joke. But yeah, this book is kind of a mess. It's a lot. And it's kind of sad because I can tell that the creative team worked really hard on it. The art is good. The paneling is more esque. They tried so hard, and I feel bad because I didn't like it. There's a lot of good visuals in it, but the story is a bore. It really is. Great cover arts, though. The variant cover gallery in the back, shit, they're nice. Fucking amazing cover arts, dude. And then there's, like, art pieces in the back and stuff. it's really good art. The cover arts are fantastic, but yeah, I won't be reading it again. I like to reread comics because I like to notice things that I didn't notice the first time, like foreshadowing that I can now catch because I know what's coming, and maybe now that I'm not as engrossed by the word because I've read it before, I can pay a bit more attention to the art now. But no, I'm not rereading that. God, it's a slog. But that is it for Tom King's Rorschach. I didn't like it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below: Facebook, Twitter, etc. And let me know in the comments if we should just stop making Watchmen stuff. We probably never should have made any after the original, even though I like Doomsday Clock. But I only read one before Watchmen story, and I did not like it. And I didn't like this. Alan Moore was right. Alan Moore was right. Either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Just like Harvey Dent said. But I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.